Well, good morning, TikTok, and happy Sunday to you. Ed over here at FICM Repair. So we got a question in from Joey T 1985. We're talking about tuning and SCT or ECM really based tunes as compared with FICM tunes, because we shot a video on FICM tunes and say, hey, you can stack your tunes, and say, well, how does that work? You know, if you've got a 50 horsepower toe tune on your SCT and you go ahead and you get a 40 horsepower tune on your FICM, does that mean that you just tacked on 90 ponies? No, it doesn't. It means that there's overlap. So when you tack on, when you have your 50 horsepower ECM tune, say, or your 100 horsepower ECM tune, or whatever it is, you're going to get about only 25% or so, give or take, depends on the tune, but essentially 25% of the FICM tune's top end power added. So on average, it just seems that if you were to put it on the old dyno, like the Atlas 40 on an SCT already tuned tune, wouldn't do terribly much on the top end. Now, bottom end, oh my goodness, right? I mean, so low end throttle response, the light turns green, and you go right now, and you're like, thank you, Jesus, you do love me. So I'm not going to get T-boned by the guy who's not paying attention. I can get out of the way. Not a safety issue for my wife and kids and family and whatnot. Dog safe, everybody's safe. Woohoo! So I got out of the way. And that's the benefit of FICM tuning, is just low-end throttle response. But top end, if you don't have a SCT, you don't have an ECM tuner of any kind, you know, yes, the Atlas 40 would give you 40 horsepower to the wheels on the dyno, and you'll definitely feel a little something. The 80 is, 80 horsepower, and the 100 is 100 horsepower, the Hercules tune. So all of that is the case. However, when you mix in the secret sauce of running an ECM tune, SCT being the predominant player in the space, then I would tell you that no, you're going to still see the low end difference. So you're still the drivability. Oh my goodness, yes, please, it's awesome. It's so much better. I mean, it's more than awesome. It's awesome, right? It's incredible. But the top end stuff is kind of like the old butt dyno doesn't feel it so readily. It is there through the power curve. It is there. It's just when you're already dealing with a truck that's, say you got a 50 horsepower tune on it on the ECM, so you got 375 horses already on an otherwise non-modified truck, and you go ahead and you add 10 more, 375 to 385 doesn't feel a lot different. Just saying. I mean, ask the horses. I mean, 10 horses is a lot of freaking pulling power, but when you already got so much as a percentage, it's just not that much. So the number one benefit for FICM tuning is low-end throttle response. So when you hit the go pedal, you go, and you go right now. You don't go 20 seconds from now when the turbo finally decides to light, okay? So, but you do get top end, a top end little something, but it's not gonna just like knock your socks off and everything else. Now, you might say, hey, I'm running, so why wouldn't I run the 80 horsepower tune? And the answer is it'll probably smoke a little. Even at higher RPMs, it might not always clean up. Might not always. And so, which means sometimes it will. And that there is a commercial to rent this bad boy, right? So you rent it, you can try out all the tunes with your setup. You don't have to believe some dude over the interwebs. Yeah, he means well, but he's just not you. He's not sitting on your back 40 in Alabama, or sitting in your suburbia life, wherever you happen to be. He's I'm in Iowa and you're not, or you are in Iowa, you're certainly not in my backyard. It's not my truck, it's your truck. So your truck. And so if you wanted to go ahead and try out the FICM tuner on rental, yes, it's going to cost you $50 more net. I suppose $50 more, depends how you want to run the math on that, because the tune itself is going to cost you $200 net plus shipping. So both ways. So $650 out of the gate to rent the tuner. You're going to have it in your hot little hands for 10 days, trying out all the tunes, the Eco, the 40, the 80, the 100, keep the one you like the best, ship it on back to us when you're done. Perfect. By the way, while you have it, if your buddy's like, holy crap, man, I want that for my truck, you can call us up. We can get you another license over the phone for 1 or 21 trucks, whatever you got, and take care of your buddies too. Now, if we, so it's super easy is what I'm trying to tell you. What the benefit of that is A, no downtime. B, you get to try out the tunes for yourself on your own rig. C, you don't have to, worry about nothing. You'll see exactly what's going on. And D, you're not having to get the wrenches out and taking a chance of hurting something. And so, just by, the more time you take things apart, well, stuff happens. So as careful as you can be, stuff happens. And I suppose an extension of that is the tuner itself is quite a bit lighter physically, so the shipping costs are less too. So, you're going to spend, what is it, 10, 12, 14 bucks, shipping, probably closer to 10 if I were guessing, I don't know, each way. And then you're going to go ahead and, not be down and everything else. If you send your FICM into us, you got to take the FICM out, hassle factor, be down, hassle factor, ship it into us, hassle factor, wait for the FedEx or whoever the carrier is we like UPS for the record, to go ahead and send it over to us and get it, and then get it back. So you're gonna be down for about a week, and then you're gonna be stuck with whatever tune that you think is good enough for you. You'll probably end up with the Atlas 40 because most folks do, but at least now you'll know you don't have to listen to me. And if you monitor exhaust gas temperatures, because that's the sidebar, that's the side harm, I guess you could say, to the byproduct of FICM tuning is higher exhaust gas temperatures. So you're going to want to just keep that in check and understand that you don't want to exceed 1200 degrees for more than a minute, and never ever ever touch 1500 degrees. And I know that your best friend's cousin's brother-in-law's nephew he takes it up to 1700 degrees all the time and hasn't had a problem. He will eventually. He will. And so I just don't want to have to sell you an engine. Now, if you need an engine, we sell those, but don't say I didn't tell you so. All right? So, can FICM tunes stack? Yes, they can. Am I going to get 40 horsepower more with that 40 horsepower tune stacked on top of the SCT? No, you're going to get about 10. So about 75% overlap across all tunes. So with the 80, you'll get about 20. With the 100, you'll get about 25-ish, somewhere in there, neck of the woods. And life is good. But what you're going to notice is you're going to notice a little more smoke. That might not be so good. And if you live in a place where you got to go get a little throttle blip test or whatever, you might not actually pass emissions for that. But if you are in a state, insert state here with a whole lot of carb controls, we have a ton of folks in all 50 states who go ahead and do this, and they pass no problem with the Atlas 40. So I hope this helps somebody. Joey T, 1985, man, I appreciate your question. Next time, do us a solid. If you got a question, put it in the comments, right? That way I can just hit reply to the comment. People can see what your comment is, and no problem. It's just easier for everybody, and we can help thousands of people, not just one of you, if that makes sense. So awesome. Well, happy Sunday to you, and just know that we're all in this together. FICM Repair, we're here for you. Thanks. Appreciate it.